Today I want to teach you how to identify different types of wild berries. And all behind me here you can see many different types of these like bramble bushes. And we're going to take a look at how to identify three different ones: the blackberry, the raspberry, and the wineberry. So let's take a look and see how we can identify them and learn about some ways to use them. Here we have the blackberry. These are very elliptical in shape. The bottom leaf may have a little nubbin, a little lobe here, and sometimes may even be in leaves of 5. Here we have another with a little nubbin. One of the best ways to differentiate this between the other berries is by taking a look at the stem. These thorns are farther spread apart, and the stem itself is ridged and square. It's not a nice round stem. The underside of the leaves are a paler color. They are not really super white, but they are a little bit pale, and they have tiny prickers along that mid rib on the underside. You can see here that the stems are usually a reddish to brown color. Here we have the raspberry. They are in clusters of 3, very obviously venated, and glaucous, very white on the bottom. You can also take a look. These are relatively tiny little leaves compared to some of the other berries we are looking at. Looking at the stem, this is very whitish in color. However, it's almost as if it is covered with a little dust. So as we take a look at the stem, you can see that I rub it, and that whitish color now comes off, leaving a greenish to purple stem behind. The thorns are also a little farther apart. Alright, so we've got the wineberry here, and you can see that this type of berry has leaves of 3. The top is very soft, almost fuzzy, and has very obvious venation. On the bottom, look at that color difference. This is very glaucous or white and has tiny little thorns along the bottom on that midrib. The stem is almost covered in these little hair-like appendages. They're very prickly. And in the spring and into the summer, these little hairs can be covered in tiny little balls of sticky substance, and that can help protect it from predation. But you'll notice these leaves of 3, the top one looks very similar to a maple leaf or a sycamore. And then it'll have these 2 more elliptical leaves on either side of the base of that maple looking leaf. The berries are vibrant fire engine red. Right now it is August. These berries are a nice June and July treat. It is so exciting that all of these berries that I just identified for you can be made into cool stuff. This right here is a blackberry, blueberry, wineberry, raspberry, black cherry jelly that I made, all from foraged berries that I was able to pick. And you can do so much more than just jellies. You could do desserts, syrups, cocktails if you stay tuned for my Trails to Tasting series, where I identify these wild plants for you and then teach you how to make a cocktail in each weekly little session that we do. Just keep in mind that we're not the only ones who are relying on these plants. These plants provide valuable habitat and resources for many wildlife species. So make sure that you're always following the foraging etiquette of only picking 1/3. That's 1 for me, one for the wildlife, and one to reseed for next year. Did you enjoy this video and enjoy learning about the natural world? You can stay tuned for more Art of Ecology goodness. You can subscribe here and follow along and always stay up to date on identifying wild plants, realizing how you can use local wild edibles, and way more ecology goodness. Thanks for watching.